If you've not dated the person you want to marry, I would advise you that you keep off the process. But of course, you should know where to focus on. Here are the things you must look out for while in a dating relationship. Number one is social life. Number two is emotional life. Number three is spiritual life. And number four is physical life. I lost beautiful relationships years ago in my life because I didn't get to know the things I'm sharing with you in this video. Now, let me redefine what dating is about. Dating is not a process of waiting before you get married. Again, dating is not a process of getting closer to this person before you get married. It is not a place of getting to just bond and blend with this person before you get married. Rather, dating is a place where you have the privilege to get to know this person, discover the strengths, discover the weaknesses, and now finally decide on what you want to go for. Which means that you have not finally concluded on this person until the dating process is over. Because you see people walk into dating relationship without really understand that it's a privilege to have time with this person, to get to know this person very well. And this happens when you see people who are eager to practice on certain things they ought not to practice while dating, and that shifts their emotions. And once your emotions are shifted, you find out that your mission is shifted. For example, if you start practicing sex while dating, your emotions, of course, will automatically shift from the purpose of dating to, thinking and believing that this is all you came for, because sex is very powerful. It drives emotional energy and it can channel it to the wrong place and the wrong thoughts. So it's very important you understand what dating is all about. Dating is about compatibility. It's a place where you research and finally decide whether you are compatible with this person. Now, making the research of who this person really is very important. Sometimes you're going to see beautiful things about people, but there are things you cannot handle. Yes, there are things. There are some people that are great, they have big dreams, they are doing well in life, but of course you don't have the capacity to manage their emotions, their social life, their spiritual life and all that. It's not working. Like, you can align with this person, but you are going to discover compatibility in the process of dating, in the place of dating. So it's good to have someone who has a beautiful life, a powerful life, and who, of course, you know this person is going to be a star, or this person is going to succeed, or maybe you kind of like this person. But the fact still remains that you have to check if you have what it takes to move with this person. If you have what it takes to blend with this person, is it going to work? And there is no other way to discover that if you don't focus on discovering compatibility when you look at these areas. Two key areas where you should never compromise in while dating is your spirituality. This is very important. You must understand that spirituality are places where people are ready to pay sacrifices in their lives. So you are never to play down on the fact that this person is believing a different thing from what you believe when it comes to their faith, who they worship, who they call their God, or what they call their God is very important. And as believers, as Christians, the scriptures automatically warns every believer to stay clear anybody who is not a child of God, because of course we know that it doesn't work. It said we should not be equally yoked with unbelievers, and marriage is about bonding, is about oneness, is about becoming one with someone. So when you discover that this person believes a different thing altogether, of course that relationship, that marriage will not work, because a time is going to come when the issue of faith comes up. There is no agreement, and once there is no agreement and unity in marriage, that marriage becomes a mess. Now, marriage is not a place where you just want to try and see if it's going to work, because there is an opportunity of divorce. Of course, divorce, if you have not tested it, you might never tell what it is like. But I can assure you that divorce leaves a scar on everyone who has ever had a taste of it, and you wouldn't want to have a taste of that. That's why dating is a place where you must maximize. When the person doesn't agree with your faith, doesn't agree with your beliefs, it's very, very important that you take note of that and stay clear. Stay off, back off. The purpose of dating is to know if you are to continue or to back off. And it's very important that you don't come into dating with the mindset of the very fact that it must be this person. No, dating is a place where you finally decide. You need to make your discoveries. You need to find out the goods and the bads. Of course, nobody is perfect, but there are things you can handle. There are things you can manage. There are things you can carry. And one of the things you should not compromise with is the person's spirituality. Done there. It's either the person is willing to leave their spirituality to join yours, or you are willing to join theirs. That is the only way it's going to work. Now, the second area you should not compromise is the fact that you don't agree when you are discussing. If you find out that anytime you discuss with this person, you don't finally agree on something, or you don't come to the conclusion of agreement, then there's a problem. And that is a true test of compatibility. Like I said earlier, compatibility, unity, oneness is the purpose of marriage. And if you don't agree when you discuss, that is a red light. And it's time you begin to consider letting go of the relationship. Nothing is wrong with you when you give up on relationship while you are dating. Of course, it's better than one divorce. 10,000 broken relationship is better than one divorce, and you wouldn't want to handle what divorce is all about. So do not compromise spirituality, and do not compromise the fact that you don't agree when you discuss, and that is compatibility. Don't compromise spirituality, and don't compromise compatibility. And there are people who depend on God to choose a spouse for them. As good as that is, I want you to understand that God has blessed you with wisdom and given you the ability to choose, the power of choice to decide on what you want. Some persons want to get along with people just because God said. Now, it's fine, it's good. But before you finally conclude the very fact that God said, you have to train yourself to be ready to manage the person you will be working with. Because marriage is a journey, and it's not what you are going to just, you can't even see God physically, working in your marriage. But God is rather going to lead you in difficult times, helping you to solve problems and helping you with great ideas that will help the marriage to succeed. Which means that you have a very important role to play in the marriage. Not just God. God is not going to do the kissing for you. He's not going to do the romancing for you. He's not going to keep the house clean for you. He's not going to do the business for you. He's not going to manage your spouse emotions for you. God is not going to do a lot of things for you in the marriage. And that's why you should pay close attention to study and make research on who you want to work with, even when God has approved, and be sure that this is what you want. And the question about the fact that whether you are to marry this person, maybe when you miss this person, you cannot find another person. One thing I believe God cares so much about in your life is your purpose, your vision, your dream, and your destiny. And of course, there are many people scattered all over the world. And there are people who are willing to give you the room to become who He has called you to be. And those people are actually the person I believe God approves for you. It's not like it's only one person in this wild world, in this whole world that is meant for you. Yes, there are many people who you can work with, but being able to find out if these people are compatible with you, if these people can actually work with you and still give you room while you also be a blessing to them by giving them room to become what and who God has called them to be. If this video has blessed you, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Esther Christine. Thank you for watching.